Hi guys, welcome to new series on my channel where we are going to create fully manageable network based on MikroTik and TP-Link switch, and also in the future UniFi AP. But yeah, let's get into it. So first, let's add IP address on our Ether1 interface, which is going to be WAN interface. Add comment, this is WAN. We can comment this interface too. Now let's go to IP routes and create a route to the gateway. Okay, and IP DNS, so we can add DNS servers. Okay, let's check, do we have internet connection on the router? Yes. So right now let's create our downlink port with 3 VLANs. First VLAN office VLAN, second VLAN guest VLAN, and third VLAN management VLAN. So let's comment Ether2 as downlink to TP-Link port 8 and add VLAN interfaces. First VLAN 10 with ID 10 to Ether2 with comment office network. VLAN 11 with VLAN ID 11 to Ether2 with description guest network, and VLAN 50 with VLAN ID 50 on interface Ether2 MGMT network. Okay, now we need to add IP addresses for these VLANs, so for these networks. So 10.1 for VLAN 10 and comment office network. Misclick again. 11.1/24 for VLAN 11 and comment guest network, and 50.1 VLAN 50 MGMT network. Okay. After that, let's create the DHCP server on VLAN 10 and VLAN 11. So IP, DHCP server, DHCP setup, create DHCP server on VLAN 10. Next. IP pool from 50 to 254. DNS servers are okay. Let's set least time for 8 hours. And first DHCP server is created. Now let's create second one. Okay. Second DHCP server is also created. And now let's create masquerade rule so we can have internet connection on both of these VLANs. So source address, out interface Ether1, action masquerade. Let's copy that rule. Let's put 11.0/24. Okay. So right now let's get into switch configuration. Okay, we have our switch connected via serial port. We need to check on which TCY it is. So ls-la def grep TTI USB. As you see, we have TTY USB 0, so we can go to sudo minicom -s serial port setup. serial device USB 0. Baud rate for Zeppelin switch is 38400. We need to turn off hardware flow control. As you see, we are on this switch. Okay, it has default configuration now. So let's get into configuration. Let's configure enable password for some random one. Let's create password for user admin. Type admin status enable. Okay, let's turn on IP SSH server, and let's turn off IP SSH version 1. Okay, now let's configure hostname and location. Okay, when we have it done, let's create VLANs. So VLAN 10, name office network. VLAN 11, name guest network. VLAN 50, name MGMT network. And we need to create default VLAN. Let's give the default VLAN number 777. Name default VLAN. Okay. Now let's configure our uplink port. So interface gigabit Ethernet 108. Switch port mode trunk. Switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10, 11, 50 and 777. Switch port private ID 777 and description uplink R2R port 2. Okay, now let's configure our access port. So access VLAN 10, so with our office network. Interface gigabit 101. Switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 10. Switch port private ID 10. Description Tomek PC. Okay, and last, let's configure management VLAN. So IP management VLAN 50. Interface VLAN 50, IP address 172.0.52 with netmask 24 and gateway. Yeah, let's check config. We have VLANs configured, IP SSH server, our access internet port, here is trunk port. IP management VLAN exists, so copy running config startup config. Yeah, okay, we can quit. Right now I am connected to interface gigabit Ethernet 1 to our TP-Link switch. As you can see, I get IP address from DHCP. Let's see, can we ping Google? Yes, we can. Okay, now let's see on DHCP server that we have our IP here in Lysis. Let's check, can we reach switch? Yeah, we can. So yeah, that was the first episode. In next episodes we are going to secure this whole setup, so random user like me right now cannot access our management devices. Yeah, and so on. So let's see you in the next video. Bye.